Hi everyone, welcome to the start of a new series. Excuse me, this is going to go on in mornings until the page is done. Now this is a page that I've been asked to colour, so I thought it would be a good one to pick, and it's from Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford, which is obviously a popular book at the moment and people are enjoying it. Now I have decided, I've looked at this page and I thought there's a lot of things going on here. So I decided that I would like to have a limited colour palette. I grabbed a few colour cube cards and decided that, you know, I was looking at it thinking I could do with some greens where there's some leaf detail, could do with some greys for the bottles and things. And so in the end I decided that rather than having a card with a limited colour, I would grab a set of pencils that was a little bit smaller so I had less choice. I decided, because I haven't done a video for quite a while, to go for the Pasteltint pencils. Now I realise that not all of you have this set. It's okay, because just use a similar colour if you want to colour along, or don't, you know, do what you want. Now the next thing is, where do I start? There's so many different objects and items, but I'm just gonna zoom in, see what appears in shot and colour that. It looks like we're going towards a rocket. Should we do the rocket? There we go. Excuse me. A cough sounds far worse than it is. I'm absolutely fine. Now we've got a lot of stars in the background. I think I'm going to leave those. We'll just do the main items that we can see in shot. Let's start with the rocket. Now it's all pastel, so that's going to be fun. Let's do blues for our rocket. Let's do that and let's get going. So I'm going to start with the larkspur, this blue, and I think I'm going to do now they're sort of metallic, aren't they, rockets? So I'm thinking if I go around the edge in my colour like this. Sorry for that, I'm just going to get that bit off the pencil. It's annoying me. I don't know if it's annoying you. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. I haven't got a cough. I'm fine. And I'm just going to fade that towards the middle, really. Gently. So it's a bit lighter in there. And hopefully it might look a little bit shiny, as if it's perhaps a bit metallic. I don't know. I'm going to grab a different blue. I'm just going to go through some different blues, I think. I just think it'll be fun. This is called Jade. I don't know if it's a little bit green. Yeah, probably is. We'll leave that. Let's do the bluebell. That's, oops, sorry, that was a bit blurred, wasn't it? That's definitely blue. So really I'm just going random. Now, with metal, it can be fun to make it look a little bit rusty and things like that, but I'm not going to do anything that adventurous. I'm just going to keep it quite easy, fun, light, whatever you might want to call it. I am sorry, it's not very pleasant for you, I'm sorry. So just go in, I'm doing smaller, lighter touches and then back over the outside. Now just because it's a pastel colour doesn't mean we can't layer it up a bit to get a nice effect. Now this one's got little circles on it like they're little sort of screws or something. I'm going to ignore them, blue mist, and just colour over them because they're too small. I think this one's a little bit purpley. It is. There we go. Now I think what I'm going to do next is the two that are here, I'm going to do them in these two colours but reverse way round. So the larkspur, which we did first, which was that one, I'm going to do here. I hope I've remembered correctly. I have. Let's have a little paranoid attack. Ooh. So same technique all the way through. There we go. And then the yes, the bluebell. Was it the bluebell? I don't know. Hang on, I'm just looking. Yeah. It's a good start, isn't it? I can't remember what I'm doing. Okay, so here's our bluebell. And what I'm going to do is while I've got it in my hand, I'm going to carry on. So I'm going to do those two with the blue mist. And I'm going to make this one bluebell here. Like that. And then one of those two bits, I think this larger bit. Now, this larger bit, I'm going to put the shine in the middle. So I'm just going to make more intense layers on the edge. Now, some of the pastel pencils in this set and in other sets, when you try and change the intensity of colour by layering up, I'm going to do this one here with the larkspur. It doesn't really make a big difference because there's such a pale colour that layering up just doesn't really have any impact. But I'm trying to purposely choose colours from this set that we can do that with. Okay, now we have that. I'm going back to my blue mist to do this middle section. And then I think I'm going to make the shine in the middle of each side though, just because we're broken up by this sort of little porthole window, which we are going to do as well in a bit. I thought we could do the porthole window, this bit and these in the same colour. What colour? I haven't decided yet. It hasn't got a lot of shine on it. I've been talking and distracting myself. It's also a bit of a different shaped space, but never mind. Here, I think I'm going to ignore those circles again. Let's make it easy. There we go. Now I think, yeah, we need some grey for the window. So I can use another blue for the other bits, but I don't want one that's too close to what I've used. Yeah, the lobelia is actually quite different. A lobelia. So I'm going to do these bits with it. You can see it's a little bit more bright. Again, sort of fade towards the middle a little bit, like that. Now we've got to make sure we don't colour on top of our dinosaur. And down here, there we go. And this one, the shadow is all on this side, but because I've done everything else quite evenly, I'm going to make it darker on that side too, and just fade it towards the middle, like that. And then this, I'm going to do these quite hard colouring, because they're so small we need them to show up. Oh, and then for this bit, I think we'll fade it. There's a real creaking on my desk, as if it's about to just collapse. I'm sure it won't. And then our little porthole window, I think the winterberry is probably the best grey. Now I would just do a few lines, but this is really pale, so I'm actually going to colour just an area on the middle, sorry, over where those little black lines are, and leave a white outside and hope it looks a bit glass-like. Who knows? Okay, that's our first item, and I am going to pick a second item. Where should we go? I don't want anything too complex because we're just beginning, and I know there's a lot of items here. Let's not go too far away. Let's do the book. Excuse me. We're going to do it different colours to the rocket, so we want things different colours. So I'm going to start with the pages. Page is quite hard to colour. What colour do you colour paper? I don't want to do a background because we're going to have so many different colours in this that I don't want a background colour at all. So I don't want to leave it white. So we could do it the orchid white, which is really, or mimosa, sort of very pale. We could do it peachy. We could do it slightly creamy. I think I'm going to choose the candytuft if I can find it. There it is. It's a sort of beigey colour, yeah? And I'm just going to do it for the edges of the pages now. Sometimes I like to do page edges. I don't know why my desk is so creaky. It's very odd. Anyway, sometimes I like doing page edges in the sort of gold, but I think this will work. We do have a sort of inca gold in these pencils. I'm layering up a little bit because I want you to be able to see that I've coloured it. Okay, now the front of our book, I'm going to simplify it a lot. So we have shapes and pictures and even an S or something, or I don't think it's an S, I think it's, what I'm going to do, all the background in one colour, all the dots and shapes in another. Keep it really straightforward. But what colours? I'm thinking maybe some greens. I think I might choose, what have we got? Let's choose this one. It's got a really nice sharp point, look at that. It is the angelica, and I'm going to use that for all these markings. Now for this bit on the spine, sometimes I would colour it so that I do it darker at each end so that the spine looks curved, but here with the way it's drawn it's quite flat, so I don't think we need to worry about that. So I'm just going to block it in really, get a nice amount of colour down. Again, watch out for our dinosaur, he doesn't need colouring. I tend to find that when I'm doing something like this where there's little details and then I'm going to do a sort of background, that I find it easier to do the details first. It's just a personal thing though. You may find the opposite applies to you. It's all very subjective. There we go. Now I've got no idea how long this series is going to be. There are so many little items. It sort of depends how many I do in each video. I'm thinking it depends how long, because some of them are really complex and they might need a video on their own, and some of them are quite straightforward, so really wouldn't need much of one. Okay, now a sort of background colour for the book. That's quite a bluey green, isn't it? I don't really want to go for another bluey green. I think it would be too similar, so I need to think of a different colour that's going to work behind it. And I think the foxglove might work, but would a book have that sort of colour behind it? Yeah, why not? Let's give it a go. It's my book. I can do it whatever I like. So this, oh, that's not foxglove. That's amaryllis. Hold on. I think, yeah, actually, I think that'll do. Amaryllis. It's a sort of slightly orangey pink. Actually, I'm thinking, before I do, I'm going back to my angelica and just doing around this edge. I like the fact that the colour names are printed on in white on most of the pencils. It shows up really nicely, so it makes it much easier to read compared with the sort of metallic ones like the polychromos have. But on the cream pencil you can't read it at all. So right, so I'm going to do this sort of rim first. Now this can be quite a more vibrant colour. I think it's fine. Again, I don't think I'm going to do much in the way of shading, particularly on this spine, and it's quite hard to shade pastels really. You can layer some up more than others, like this one. If I go really lightly there, that you can see that's lighter than that, but something I find, if you want to get some really definite shading going on with your pastels, use a set of non-pastels. So I find these go really nicely with the Castle Golds. They have a similar feel, but you can use any other pencil, and obviously you might not be using this brand anyway. And so, like, if you want to darken this, a darker shade of red or pink, like magenta, something like that. This is actually quite an orangey pink, so I'm thinking carmine, maybe something like that would work. So, you know, you can just play around. Now we could be quite fancy and do some shading under the wing of the bee, but no. I'm keeping it simple. It's complicated enough as it is with all the little designs on here. I think we just colour them and have fun with them. not make it too difficult. I think probably the reason that I was asked to do this page was because it was a little bit daunting. So I don't want to make it more complicated than necessary. I'm just trying to get that even. There we go. Now you could, if you wanted, put some shadow under all of the green bits as if they're embossed on the book, which sometimes happens. But as I say, I'm keeping it simple and I don't have the right colour in my set to do that anyway. But we do have our bookmark to do. It's tempting to make it match the book, but how many times do you use a bookmark that matches your book? I bet it's quite rare. So let's not worry too much about that. I don't want something that's not going to match at all and look strange, but I'm not going to purposely match it up. So I think let's use the viridi. That's quite hard to read actually, isn't it? It's easy for me, it just doesn't look very bright in the camera. And do the centre of the bookmark in the viridi. I don't even know if you say it like that. Some of these names are a little bit tricky to say. I do my best. And then the outside, I don't want to go with a pink because we're really then matching. Let's go... let's use this. This is the Pearl. P-E-R-L-E. Pearl? I don't know. Could someone not spell? Or did they just... I don't know. There we go. Now I have actually decided what colour I want to do all of the stars, and I think I might just do them all now as the very end of this video, because it will then help me choose the other colours, because you know, if it's right next to something I might not want to do it the same colour. So I'm going to come out, actually I might just come in a bit so you can see closely and take a little photo ready for my thumbnail, and then come out and show you the whole page. There we go. And what I'm going to do with the stars is use the Inca Gold. It's quite the obvious one to use, and I'm just going to do it all now. I'm not going to do the ones inside the bottle because I may decide to do something a bit different with that. But I'm going to do all the ones on the that are surrounding things. And the reason, as I said, is that if it's next to something, I mean when it's next to the bonsai tree that's fine, but if it's next to something that I'm thinking, what colour should I do, I might decide that maybe it's not a good idea to do it the same colour as the star, or else the star will get lost. Like if I did this flower this colour, you might not see the star. So that's sort of my reasoning. It's the same reason I often do backgrounds first, or I decide what colour I'm doing for backgrounds first. And again, I had decided on this colour and I could have left it till later to colour these, but I think I might as well do them now, and it will just help me remember what I'm at. And because we've got such a limited colour palette anyway, it will help me a little bit more with my colour choices. I hope you can see the whole page. I think you can. Now we've got different shapes of stars here, but I'm doing them all the same colour. I think partly for simplicity's sake and for coherence as well. You of course don't have to do your stars gold. You could do them silver. You could use a metallic pen, glitter pen. You could cover them with a little bit of sparkly glitter afterwards. Although I would always recommend, if you're doing a pen, glitter pen, whatever, do it at the end, particularly glitter. Gel pens do dry, so you can do it with the gel pen, metallic pen, leave it to dry, but glitter sometimes can spread around the page a bit once you put the pen down. So I tend to do it last, so I get it all over me, all over the desk, all over everywhere. Some glitter pens are worse than others for that. Now I'm not sure if I've done them all because I've been nattering, so I'm just having a little look. I think I have. I think so. Okay, so that is me for today. quite a simple start, I hope. I hope you can see it's not going to be too daunting. I'm going to do a little bit at a time and we will get it all done and have some fun with it. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day. There will be another video this afternoon, not sure what, haven't recorded it yet, so we will see. But for now, thank you for watching and happy colouring.